All right, folks, it is July 1st, 2023, and those of us here in the United States are getting ready to set off some fireworks here maybe on the 4th of July, but France is not waiting, folks. They are lighting that country up right now. I wanted to give a quick breakdown on this situation, quick update, and now, all jokes aside, this is a very serious situation. Started with a 17-year-old boy getting shot and killed by police, and simultaneously we see riots and protests erupt across the country. The country already going through many situations. Protests were already occurring because Macron has been running the country poorly by many people's judgment. And then he was trying to raise the pension or raise the retirement age, I should say. Another country that's battling inflation. They're having some immigration issues as well. And so the country was ready to be set off, and it looks like this is the event to spur it. So one 17-year-old boy gets shot, and now the whole country is burning down. And I'm trying not to I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, not trying to clickbait. This is a very serious situation, and I'm just trying to update folks. And we talked about how the financial system was going to collapse. We talked about how another summer of love was potentially coming on the way. We talked about how, even though it was politically incorrect to call it a recession last year, that we were in a recession and that the West was going to continue to face issues and internal chaos as these empires fall. France being one of these countries that has many issues waiting to be set off, and it looks like this was the event to do it. So let's get right on into it, guys. This situation is developing and escalating rapidly, but we see last night, looks like rioters in France have been seen firing automatic rifles, shotguns, guns, and using explosives. So we're seeing a lot. We're seeing a lot of violence right now. Teresa Fallon shares this story. Just arrived at Orly Airport, Paris. Lengthy lines for taxis, but drivers only want to go outside Paris as it is too dangerous to drive into the city. The conference I'm attending is about an hour outside. The driver declared to me that it is a civil war. He is listening to the radio and just told me that they attacked prisons, banks, and schools. Now, here's one of the banks. Credit Mutual bank office burned down by protesters in France. And then Jim Ferguson gives us this breakdown, looking at the numbers here. France is in trouble. The scale of these riots is moving into uncharted territory. If there was a mass uprising, even their military would struggle to contain it. Has a new revolution begun in France? And will the World Economic Forum, Macron, keep his cool, or will he lose his head? Now, these numbers are pretty staggering. Nearly 500 public buildings have been burnt down, 667 people arrested, 249 police officers and I don't know what those are, gendarmes injured. I don't know what those are. 40,000 police have been deployed, including the RAID and the BRI and the GIGN. Level of violence higher than the riots of 2005, according to the Interior. And he shared a telegram there, and I was looking through some telegram feeds, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and I put out on Twitter yesterday, if anybody is in France, please reach out. I'd like to hear from folks that are seeing the situation on the ground firsthand. It's always tough in these situations to get good intel, good sources of credible information. So if you are there, if you have more on this, if you guys are in France, or if you guys want to let me know in the comments about this situation, how you think. To me, it seems orchestrated 100%, right? One person dies, and now we're going to burn down every city in France and, just go crazy with it. Seems orchestrated. Seems like it was ready to be set off. And as the lady said there, the taxi driver listening to the radio, calling it a civil war. It's a very serious, situation and development. And we've been worried about Europe, right? Europe, the situation over there is a dicey one. And I think the way of life over there is not what it used to be. Similar here to the United States, right? And so for me, we look at this, and we've had multiple prepping sessions within our Discord calls, and we've talked about preparing for these situations, whether it be riots in the streets, whether it be the banks go offline, the internet goes offline, a hurricane comes through town, you get caught up in the middle of the war, the kinetic war that's taking place in Ukraine, Russia. I have an audience across this planet. Most of it's in the United States, but I want everybody, wherever you are at, to be prepared. We saw gas, food, and energy crisis all through last year as well, too, throughout Europe. And so for me, folks, it's a matter of us being able to handle any situation that could potentially be thrown at us and understanding that at the point that we're in the timeline, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, we've warned about how they're willing to play dirty and how they will activate their agents during times of unrest and chaos. They will throw fuel on the fire to achieve their agenda. And they operate by a code that is order out of chaos. So to me, this seems orchestrated. One person dies. Was it wrong? Yes, may he rest in peace. Okay. Or, I don't even know the facts of the circumstances, right? Maybe he was a bad guy. I have no idea. I can't even really comment on it. But I will say that it seems to me orchestrated that we set the whole country on fire off of one person dying, right? Now, we've seen the similar thing in the United States. We warned about another summer of love coming and taking place here and now in the West in general, speaking just on how the West is the falling empire, and you're starting to see that happen in real time. For us, we can take advantage of this opportunity, but we also have to be able to ride this thing out. Now, I'm not trying to be opportunistic, but what do they say, right? When there's blood in the streets, well, when the streets are on fire, same thing, right? For us, we just got to make sure that we can ride out this chaos, ride out these storms, and not get too distracted by it. And then, you see the banks burning and you see the situation over there. This is why we've been stacking cash. This is why we've been stacking our precious metals. You guys see me showing my shiny little rocks every single show. And this is why we do it right here, is so that we have options. I wanted to make one more point too on cash. Folks, I would consider getting cash in multiple denominations as well. Just like we do with silver. So I have my 1 ouncer, I got my 10 ouncer. Who knows what I need to buy with this, right? A 10 ounce bar might be buying you safety, passage. The taxi driver doesn't want to go through a part of town to get you to where you need to go. So you barter, you wager with some silver. That's why we carry cash. That's why we carry silver. We have other essentials and, other things that we've prepped up as well. But I would consider stacking cash in various denominations as well. 5 spot, 10, 20, 50, 100. If you live in Zimbabwe, you got the $1 trillion bills or whatever they are. You get the point, right? Give yourselves options because you don't know when the next crisis is going to hit, what it's going to be in your area. Here in the United States, we have multiple situations to take a look at. Storm season, we're looking at, the hurricanes keep on rolling through the south, weaponized warfare, weather, I should say. We see the wildfires, we see the smoke. I got a message, and this broke my heart, actually. Message from someone who was in Ohio, and he said, been working outside all week in the smoke and whatever else was in that smoke, right? And, basically just saying his lungs are, on fire, struggling to breathe and all this, what is going on, right? It's like the riots that erupt simultaneously across the country in France. We had wildfires catch fire simultaneously across Canada. And then now we have some sort of smoke and whatever else is mixed in there. Along with, you're going to continue to see the grid struggle this summer. I was just down in Texas, and they've had some issues with their grids during the summers here recently. They had them in the winter as well. California, obviously, we'll see what kind of fires they start this year here. And so we just want to be prepared, folks. The powers that be are going to play dirty, and I said they're willing to play dirty, but they're going to play dirty. And this is because they're getting exposed every day. As you guys are seeing on a daily basis, the news that's coming out, exposing the powers that be, exposing the elite, their whole system of operations, and the common man or woman is getting tapped into this. What used to be conspiracy theory talk 10 years ago when I started studying the Federal Reserve and the powers that be that I'm talking about, it was all conspiracy theory then. The death of the dollar was, not a thing back then. And now I still don't think that the dollar dies, but it has to be reset. It has to be reborn, right? And, we're going to rise from the ashes is what we talk about here in the XRP community. We're getting ashes. We're getting blood in the streets. And so for me, this is why I wake up every single day. And, I've been having some one-on-one sessions with my community members, and they just continue to thank me for showing up every day. And I say, no, thank you, because you guys are the ones that inspire me. Right? Every single day I get to show up and I get to help people, get them on board the train. As we've already left the station, we're already moving. There's already blood in the streets. It's on fire. We're dodging bullets. literally, some of you guys, we're literally out here, and we're taking advantage of this opportunity. And God willing, we're going to be able to save our families, and we're going to be able to save our communities, and we're going to be able to do a lot of good once we get through this turmoil, right? And that's why I think it's so beautiful to see so many in our community remaining strong, helping others, and doing everything in their capabilities and means to make sure that we're going to maximize this opportunity. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to head on over to my Discord weekly call now. If you guys are looking to get tapped in over there, just head on over to my website, zachrector.com. Okay. Thanks, guys. Can you smash that thumbs up for me on the way out as well? Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. My most recent video will be right there for you guys if you want to watch another one. God bless.